Good evening. Some of you may be confused as to who I am. I am the Black Metallurgist, aka Rainolf Dringot, aka Enzo, the Neon Ego, the Stranded One, the Poet of Babylon, the Moldy Sloth, or simply Eric the Cleric of the Esoteric. Now you may be thinking, boy, this guy seems awfully full of himself. He's pretty self-absorbed. Well, think about it for a minute. You take the word America, you move some letters around, and what are you left with? Eric, a man. Hi. This evening, we will be reviewing another black metal album. This album is called Bergtatt et Eventyr I 5 Kapitler, which is by the band Ulver, a Norwegian band, and this is what their logo looks like when rendered by an artist. Now, as you can see, Ulver. I had to put the R in here since it was cut short, but I blame the manufacturer of the dry erase board or the band themselves, because there's lots of curly Q's and snake ends and tentacles and tendrils. Not my fault. Anyway, moving on to the review. Ulver has a magical formula. Now, you have something loud and you have something quiet. That's nothing new, okay? Especially in today's day and age of bands like Opeth who have mastered it. But this is back in 1995, the beginning of some serious black metal movements with bands like Satyricon who have also had this magic formula. Now, Ulver, they use this formula which consists of powerful guitars, the typical black metal variety, plus black metal vocals, but also clean, almost choral chanting, almost Gregorian type of vocals, very clean and nice, plus acoustic interludes and folkloric lyrics. Now you'll have to trust me on that they're folkloric, because they're in Norwegian or some archaic Danish Beowulf type of language or something, but more on that later. Anyway, Ulver's formula usually wins, and wins big. This album is all about balance, fluidity and balance, the yin and the yang, the harsh and the pristine, the ugly and the beautiful, the carnage and the whatever the opposite of carnage is. You have a black metal juggernaut, a beast. It's not going to just like rape you and leave you broken. This album is about the art of seduction. It's about neoclassical, acoustical, medieval passages and segues, interludes, intros, midtros, and outros. As I said before, it's all about fluidity. You can check out track number 3. It's a great example of exactly what I mean. Now, as I've said before, I'm new to the black metal genre. I've only listened to maybe 10 or 12 albums. But this formula reminds me in part of Satyricon's Dark Medieval Times, which was released in, I believe, 1993. Of course, their stuff is more medieval flavored, at least in those quieter moments. Now, getting onto the lyrics, I researched these, and they're very interesting. The album itself, musically, is very mysterious, and normally I wouldn't really give a rip about the lyrics if it's in a foreign tongue. But the album really made me wonder about what they're talking about here, because it's very mysterious and it sucked me in. So I researched it, and it's a lot of forests, hills, mountains, this girl wandering in the forest, and there's voices in the forest, trolls being kidnapped and taken away into the mountains. Very mysterious stuff, a lot of different translations, so it's still mysterious even though I've researched it. Now the album, translated into English, is Taken into the Mountain, an adventure in 5 chapters. And it should be noted that this is the first of Ulver's black metal trilogy. My only criticism of this album is pretty much its strength, which is in its balance. Sometimes I just want to be assaulted with a black metal song without knowing in the back of my mind, okay, this tension or this brutality is going to be relieved soon, and there will be some acoustic strumming with maybe a flute or something like that, and then when I'm listening to that, I'm waiting for the next, the boot to drop and waiting for the next bit of brutality. Sometimes I just like to hear a black metal song, or maybe just an acoustic passage or instrumental. Sometimes I might like the yin without the yang, or the yang without the yin, or to go completely yingless or yangless. Sometimes I get a little weary of the balance. I'd like them to go all out, maybe. I always feel like Ulver leaves a trail of breadcrumbs. They're not going to drown you out in the black metal waters. You can always follow the clean vocals back and you'll be okay. Anyway, I really enjoyed this album a lot, and I look forward to the other entries in the trilogy. I would give Bergtatt by Ulver a score of 4.